And when you're going to talk Hoosier offense, you got to start with quarterback Ben Chappell. This guy's been hotter than hot in the last 3 games, averaging over 282 passing yards to go along with 7 touchdowns just in the last 3 contests. Main weapon is, of course, Chandon Doss. And we're at Memorial Stadium today where Doss has had his most success with over 105 receiving yards in those games. And the hardest working man in the Big Ten Conference is defensive end Jamie Curlew, 5.5 sacks on the season, one of the top defensive ends in all of college football. The junior college transfer, Terrence Kane, he can really do it all from the pocket. He's a dynamic athlete. The throwing numbers are there. The rushing numbers are impressive as well. But really, one of his least productive passing games last week against UNLV, this coaching staff said it was probably his best game because the decision-making continues to improve. It may have been his second game last week against Syracuse, but believe me, it was his coming out party. 13 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a quarterback sack. And the thing I love about Sean Lee is that when he makes contact with a ball carrier, they go backwards every time. The great thing about it, though, they've got that 3 technique. Jared Odrick, possibly the best defensive tackle in the country. He gets in the backfield, creates havoc, and it makes everyone else on the defense so much better because of what he can do inside. And there were some missed opportunities for Iowa in the deep passing game last week. Ken O'Keefe said they needed to be able to strike downfield against this defense. Now this is a great look at the deep play opportunities Iowa's going to be able to take advantage of right here. DJK into the end zone for the Hawkeyes. One with the offensive tackle, a guy that was an all-Big Ten, now this year Hendricks Award candidate. That is a tough move Curlew makes right there. Fakes inside and spins back out. Does an excellent job hitting the outside hand of the offensive tackle. Check that right there. There's guys at every level of football that cannot make a move like Jamie Curlew just made right there. And the reason he can do it is because he's teeing off. Illinois was behind the chains. This Falcon defense, they can bring it from all angles. You're going to see defensive linemen at certain points, but here you see the defensive back on the delayed blitz, which Terrence Kane did not see that coming. Offensive line couldn't get it picked up. And John Davis, just for good measure, making sure. No way you're getting that ball off, T-Kane. And folks, this looks simple right here, but look at how Ricky Stanzi carries out that play fake, gives a pump fake to the left side of the offense, and now you got 1, 2, 3 lead blockers out in front of Desariah Johnson. That is not a good situation to be in when you got all those 300-pounders in the way. And now Kyle Callaway just gets to finish that little man off. Rumble, young man, rumble into the end zone for Brandon Myers. Touchdown, Iowa. I love the throw there from Vaughn Charlton, too. You got to go long, throw long in this game of football. If you got a 4-3 guy, put the ball out there and give him a chance to go make the play. It appeared for a second that the play was made, but then Knowledge Timmons brought the knowledge to the wide receiver right there just at the last moment before he's able to secure the football, getting that hand in there and ripping it out. 7-0 right now, Purdue back here at Ross-Ade Stadium. Watch the running back right here, Jason Taylor. He's going to cut down the defensive end on the edge. That gets Joey Elliott outside the pocket, and then he can just ever so softly float the pass to the corner of the end zone, and his playmaker, Keith Smith, comes up with the grab. There's so many formations you see from Indiana. And even every once in a while, you're going to see some misdirection, but Big Mike Neal says, you know what, I'm just penetrating into the backfield and eating up Darius Willis. Lay heavy on him, big fella. The senior, Big Frank Halliburton, he's normally the lead blocker in these situations. But he brought his own block on that play right there. Look at him come up through the hole right here. Offensive line does a nice job sticking on there. Blocks a little cut back from the 250-pounder. BYOB, bring your own block, Frank Halliburton. Man, you guys were talking about hot dogs earlier. I got hungry and came up into the stands, and I ran across the most popular guy in the stadium here. Buckeye guy, what's up?
Anthony, how you doing, man? It's a great game, man. We're right here. We're going to stay to the end, and we're not leaving.
Now, you're normally in the front row. What are you doing back here in row 3?
It's a recession. This is all I can afford. You know what I'm saying?
Anthony, there was somebody on that opposing sideline responsible for bringing you here, right?
Yeah, you're right, Mark. Not only will there be bodies, but also mixed emotions littering the turf here at Kinnick Stadium. Like you said, Brett Bielema, the guy on the visiting sidelines, was the guy that recruited me here to the University of Iowa when he was on Hayden Fry's staff. I joked with him earlier in the week about, will he have any mixed emotions? He tried to give me that politically correct answer. Once I pressed him, he said, I've still got that Hawkeye tattoo.